First off, my deepest condolences goes to DMX family, and I'm sorry that this had to happen to him. But this is I'm not gonna really talk about DMX. What I'm gonna do is talk about his situation and how his situation is similar to a lot of us. I mean, a lot of black people in the black community who battle with demons and use drugs to try to overcome those demons, or help ease those demons, or better yet, defeat those demons. Now, it was clear that DMX had a drug problem that was much deeper than weed. He said in one of his speeches or interviews that an older dude that he thought was his friend who was looking out for him. Well, apparently who he thought was looking out for him laced his weed with another drug, and that's how he got on the drug that he overdosed on. But they're not really saying what drug he OD'd off of. They're not saying that, so we don't know. Whatever the drug was caused him to have a massive heart attack, from what I'm hearing. I'm just going to say all of this is allegedly. I don't think there was an autopsy done. Maybe the media was just assuming. He had asthma, so he could have had an asthma attack that may have triggered a massive heart attack. I'm not gonna just say that the drug caused it. I don't know. Allegedly in the media, that's what they're saying, that he had a massive heart attack and it was caused by overdose. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it is or isn't. But what we do know is that he had demons. He had inner demons that he was fighting, and he used drugs to self-medicate and thought that was doing thought that was gonna work. He was using drugs to try to overcome those demons or try to help fight those demons. And we all can relate, because we have inner demons that we fight on a day-to-day basis. Some people don't use the drug he used. Some people pop pills. Some people drink coffee. Some people smoke cigarettes. But we all have inner demons that we fight against every day. And I'm not going to sit up here like I'm perfect. I know I have inner demons that I fight with every day. I don't use drugs to fight them or try to ease them. But a long time ago, you want to know the truth? A long time ago, I used to smoke weed. It's like it had become a part of me, and without it, I was reminded of how depressing my life really was. And so I used to use the weed to run away from reality, because I didn't like my life, and I didn't want to deal with the worries in my life, or deal with reality, deal with what was going on in my life. I didn't want to deal with it sober, so I used to use the weed to think about it less, because weed kind of like put you in a state of mind where, well, I don't know about everybody else, but it put me in a state of mind to where I wouldn't think about my problems. I wouldn't worry about my problems. The weed helped me escape my problems. As long as when I was smoking it, I didn't worry about my problems. At the time I was unemployed, I used to worry about, not having a job when I was sober. When I smoked, it was like, man, yeah, I'm unemployed, man. Forget it. Yeah, I'm unemployed. Man, forget it. I'll worry about it another day. That wasn't the only reason why I was using, because there were times when I did have jobs off and on and I was still using it. I just allowed it to be my everything. I put it in the center of my world. I also used it as an outlet to, I guess, let out whatever I was feeling on the inside. Like, I was one of them type of people that held a lot of stuff in. But whenever I was high off of it, and a person would talk to me, I had no problem with telling people how I felt. So I used it for that too. Because when I was sober, I was hard to communicate with. But when I smoked, I was easy to communicate with. Bottom line is, I just looked at it as being my medicine to help heal me, rather than, be sober and deal with working on me. Taking that was helping me work on me. At least that's the way I looked at it. But one thing I will say, my older kin folks, they taught me the game. They taught me the number one rule is not to smoke with everybody. I had my own personal sacks of weed. I didn't smoke with people. That's why I didn't have to worry about nobody lacing my weed, because I didn't smoke with people. I smoked alone and by myself. That's rule number one. If you're going to be a weed smoker, watch who you smoke with, because what happened to DMX had probably happened to a lot of people. Hanging around people they thought they trust, and that person was on something hard and wanted them to be on something hard too. So they'll lace the weed and put it in a blunt or whatever, and smoke with them. And then the next thing they know, they on some other shit. They on some other drug, because they didn't watch who they trust, and they smoked with everybody. That wasn't me. Am I condoning smoking or recommending for people to smoke weed? No. I needed it. It was my drug of choice. It's really not a drug to me. But, I think anything that you use too much of is bad for you. Cigarettes is legal, but it's still bad for you, right? Medication pills, prescription pills are bad for you. Some people overuse them. I didn't stop smoking weed because it was bad. I stopped smoking weed because I knew I wanted something better. I knew I had to get something better than what I had. And I wanted a good job. So I just made a choice to let it go. Now, other drugs are much harder to let go than weed. I made it into a habit myself, but when it was time for me to let it go, I let it went. Now, if it was legal, and it is in most states, except for Alabama behind. I'm not. And if it was legal, I probably would still be, smoking it. If it was legal. If it was legal in Alabama, I would still be smoking it. I smoked it for years, but when I stopped, I brought in a substitute. It wasn't another drug. It was cigars, cigarettes. You might well say, but cigars are worse. For years, I smoked that. I overcome it twice. Like, one time I stopped smoking cigars for a while. Then I went back to smoking cigars. Then I stopped. I just went cold turkey. And guess what? I didn't need rehab to quit. I didn't need rehab to quit weed. I didn't need rehab to quit nicotine. I just went cold turkey. Now, some people feel like they need rehab, but I'm gonna tell you like this: rehab don't help everybody. I know some people who went to rehab several times and got out, began to hang around the same people who were still on those drugs and got back on those drugs. And sometimes those same people who they was like doing the drugs with would see them doing good and not on it, and would bring the stuff around them because they wanted to see them doing bad just like them, and they would get right back on it. So when I hear people bring up rehab, I'm looking at them sideways because rehab don't help everybody. Rehab is not for everybody because if you really want to quit something, it's got to be within you to make an effort to quit. And when you do quit, you got to stop hanging around those people who are still on it because they're still on it. So of course they're going to try to peer pressure you to be on it because they want you to be doing as bad as they are. So that's number one. You got to stay away from people who are on it. And just because you be off of it, it doesn't mean you're not gonna battle with it every day. Just like every day, I still battle with my demons. I still think about smoking. I don't smoke, but I still think about it and battle with the thought. I miss the feeling of letting go and not worrying about anything because since I stopped smoking, I worry about everything. I probably look 5 years older than what I really am because I'm always worrying about stuff. When I was on it, I didn't worry about anything. That's what I mostly miss, the fact of not worrying about anything. The fact of not caring when I was on it. And it helped me put my inner demons to sleep, which I really need to be dealing with my inner demons. But, I battle with the ideal of smoking, going back to smoking every day. But I don't. Would you like to know what one of my inner demons are? Anger. I have a whole lot of anger in me, and it added up over the years, and I balled it up and balled it up and balled it up. And believe it or not, I've always been like a sensitive person. That right there is probably a demon also. Because when somebody says something, I'm easy to get triggered, I'm easy to get hurt. But then the angry part of me, steps in. Last week I asked my creator to help me become better, and less sensitive and become better at handling things that come my way. And, help me get rid of my anger issues. So to do that, that day when I went to sleep, I had a dream that I was fighting something that looked like a monster, something that I was unfamiliar with. And then I couldn't kill it. I could just blow it up. But then when I would blow it up, it would come back to the monster. And then before the fight was over, it formed into somebody I was familiar with, a dead relative. And the dead relative, looked at me and said, "You can't kill me. I'm the demon within." So I interpret that as God showing me the dark side of me. He was showing me, literally showing me a mirror of myself, a part of myself that's always angry. He was showing me what that part of me looks like, and it was hideous. A part of me is a monster that I need to, learn how to accept and deal with. Maybe not get rid of, because we all need, I don't know about y'all, I kind of need that monster to protect me against my enemies. What I need to do is learn how to control that monster to do what I wanted to do, other than it doing what it wants to do. I'm going to manage it, and I'm going to overcome it, and I'm going to learn how to control it better, and I'm going to do it without smoking cigars, without smoking marijuana. Using nicotine, using marijuana only suppressed it, only calmed it down. It didn't overcome it, it didn't control it, and even if it did, that was only temporary control. I'm going to use the help of the Creator to permanently control that demon, that monster that's inside of me. A lot of people just want God to do the work for them instead of getting up helping themselves. God doesn't work like that. The Creator doesn't work like that. He will help you help yourself. Like when I asked Him for help, He showed me what I need to do to help myself. He didn't do it for me. He just helped me. And that's how the Creator works. You have to be willing to help yourself in order for Him to help you. And after you defeat those demons, it's still not over with, because you're still going to be in a fight with those demons. You just have to, be strong and continue to fight and never give up, because this is going to be an ongoing thing. You're going to always fight those inner demons that's within you. You can't run from them. You have to stand firm and tall and fight with them, because eventually, if you don't handle those demons will handle you.